But just understand, I only let people in this office use them besides me.
Yeah.
If you leave this office, I want these back. They are copyrighted.
Oh, you leave as a leave.
If you leave. Keller Williams Legacy, these are copyrighted, I want them back.
Oh, why would you? What other? That you share the to be give you my.
I can just send you both of them. Yeah, they're a buyer one too. Okay. That'd be, so you got me off over there.
Yeah. Well, you want all these?
Thank you,
Yeah. It's 3 hours and 2 hours, so. Thanks for hanging here with me. Hey, guys.
Yeah. Good.
Joe. Good. Forgot about Christmas, about shipping, your shipping thing
Oh, yeah.
started the countdown.
Yeah.
Certain packages and companies don't know if you to go ground, like, this is
Like this day is the
This
last
day is
day.
the last day.
Christmas.
Yeah.
it's gonna be 3 day or 3 days. 2 days.
Yeah, Amazon now too, even.
Buy before Christmas.
I have a friend who works for UPS and they say like he's worked there for like 12 years. He was like, this is the most, he's like, I get paid so much because I get paid extra. Because I do a bunch of overtime and all that kind of stuff. And he was like, he's like, I make all of the money for every possibly thing I want and desire in this time. He's like, and then I just take a vacation for like 2 weeks.
It's like an accountant, with tax season, but.
Exactly.
And now with Christmas on Monday, they're saying lose one of the shipping days, with some days.
Oh, God.
And all that stuff, so,
Love it.
Pay the time for
we, one or two,
Okay.
let's see real quick, it was 2 seconds.
That is no problem.
People calling that now. Yeah, so, research.
Okay.
Wait,
Yeah, you know, the whole feminine is like, oh, it was a planning thing. That's really fine.
yeah,
So,
we're on the audio, so.
yeah. I told them, I said, they're going one, process. I said, it's one thing you can do, if you want absolute guarantee of citizenship or legal status, put it up.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed.
Yeah, good point.
There's so many hospitals that will.
Yeah,
That's what's sad, if you look at the United States, they are stealing nurses, doctors.
you don't find out. Wow.
Yeah.
We're here.
Friday, get ready for the holidays. Or the holidays already begun. Going through.
So fast.
Can't believe we're already just, what, 10 days? How many days?
Yeah.
Days. Well.
Yeah.
13,
Yeah,
14.
yeah, something. We're a certain amount of days away.
Lunch from the post office yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Bunch of cards and presents.
Yeah, my mom messaged me today and she's like, cause she lives up in Ohio and she always sends me presents and cookies and like that. She's like, I'm making the cookies today. It's like, I'm gonna be doing some like, intense dieting and stuff like that for the new year and stuff like that. She's like, so do you not want me to send you cookies? And I went, Mom, those will not be around come 2024. Like, they will be gone before then.
We'll buy her me some and send her home.
Oh, yeah.
Cookies and stuff.
Hey,
We're just-
take it because that's the best part is like you can hype them up and then you get to send them home.
That's right.
It's funny, anytime I do cookies, whatever. Let's put the, I never hear anybody go in there. It's like, I don't know how it happened, but I just.
They don't know where they are. I'm gonna come over here often, walk across the street more often, be like, hey, guys. I'm just- Let's get my cookies.
No, they're.
Yeah, Jeff.
They'll be.
It's the break room.
In this labyrinth, you haven't been able to find it?
Exactly.
They'll be back, I guess, if they got. All right, if y'all don't know Brittany, Miss Brittany Houghton, she is the one I always talk about and everybody, she's one that's across the street at our branch and across the parking lot at the Benchmark branch. She's our social media director.
Marketing director, yeah.
Marketing director. We have, like I said in the past, we have our own little film room, media room in there, has all of the lights, the cameras and stuff. So if you ever have something that you want to do or practice, or if you want to come over, we'll do a podcast together. What's really good about Brittany is she'll take that and it's done on 2 cameras and she'll give it to you as a whole, if it's a 15-minute, 20-minute, whatever it is, but she'll also split it up into little sound bites or, 45-second to a minute reels, basically, to where you can use those as teasers often. But if there's something, we've got a green screen, so if you want to look like you're inside of a house talking about something, we can do all that for you. And if you don't know what to do, it's okay. Because that's why, again, we have Brittany, she's here. So, and I've invited her to do one of the classes this month. And last month, there was a gentleman here, a few of y'all were here. He was from Florida. He was trying to sell y'all, how to do your Facebook pages, how to do your web pages and everything, and to do reels and all that small reels. But he wanted to charge you for it. And I'm like, a lot of y'all don't do that. I guess the perfect person I can help you, save your money. Brittany can help you. I know just enough to be dangerous, but she's the expert, so that's why I invited her over today to try to help you all with this. So here's Brittany.
Ta-da! I'm here. I wish I had like a poop of smoke to just hear it like that. Yes, my name is Brittany Houghton. I am marketing director at Benchmark Mortgage. A little bit about me before this, I actually worked in magazines. I worked for Celebration Magazine, which is a senior living magazine. So I got to teach 90-year-old ladies how to run TikTok, which is, challenging. So if she can do it, y'all can do it. So it's basically that. And then I was also in helping mom and pops a lot during the pandemic, helped them kind of get their businesses up, get them running, worked for dentists when it came to social media. So I filmed a lot of teeth extraction and all that kind of stuff as well. But, you know, all those kind of things. And before that, I was in New Orleans. I lived in New Orleans for about 13 years. And before the pandemic, I was an event coordinator and social media marketer for an event company that did large events for like the NFL, benefits cosmetics, weddings, all that different kind of thing. So I also helped all of that grow. So that was my background. I also work in professional wrestling. I'm a ring announcer and commentator in pro wrestling. So when I'm not doing anything in marketing, when I'm not doing my 9 to 5, I am on the road traveling and doing things and promoting wrestling and stuff through social media as well. So this is one of our newer classes, one of the newer classes I've created because so many people are just like, I don't know where to start when it comes to reels. Like, I don't know what to do. I could film a video, I could post it on Facebook, but I don't get this whole reel thing. Reels, obviously, a lot of people, when they think of reels, they think of, if you don't have an Instagram, Instagram and Facebook are now connected together under the Meta umbrella. So Facebook also has reels. This also transitions into TikTok, YouTube Shorts. It's all the same thing. They just like to call them different things because they want to be individuals. They're the same thing. So when it comes to this, and we will have a Q&A afterwards, so if you have any questions, write them down, stuff like that. Nothing is a silly question. Nothing's too generic. Nothing is too broad or too obscure. Please ask your questions. So this is going to be our 3 tiers to success. Basically, introduction, the tools. That's why I kind of set some things up here so you can see. I'm going to give you kind of a list of things. All of these things can be found very cheaply on Amazon. You know, I'm a baller on a budget as well. So it's one of those things of being able to get things that work, but are also cheap so that you can actually make money instead of just blowing money. That's what I'm all about. So we're going to break down why online presence is important, you know, what you need to succeed and grow, how to be an influencer on a budget. I know the influencer word is kind of like an word, but don't worry, you are all going to be influencers by the time this is over. What we are filming, you know, because that's the next thing. Once you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this. What am I doing? You know, so you're gonna talk about what we're filming, explore topics and your niches. Obviously, your broad niche is real estate, but we're gonna break it down a little bit more. Building connections with your audience, getting the advantages with topics and hook ideas. So I'm gonna have a little extra sauce in there for you. The efficiency in content creation. So best ways to utilize your time and save time and your creativity. Because I'm all about, you know, this is my full-time job, but it's because I get paid to be a marketing director. I get paid to be online. I get paid to produce content. You guys do that kind of stuff. So, you know, on social media, online all the time. And so that is the main thing is for me is to show you that you can have your time back. So you're able to focus on your career. You're able to focus on your family, your friends, anything you want to do and not just be, you know, engulfed in your phone. Then planning content calendar and creating the reels. This is going to be interactive at the end. I'm forewarning you now. I'm going to make you pull out your phones. We're going to all film a little short reel, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook. So be prepared. All right, so this is just the introduction of what has transpired over the short amount of time, especially in 2020. It kind of got amped up when everybody was at home and bored out of their skulls. So the evolution of social media was a platform primarily focused on simply selfies and the powerful tools of business and knowledge growth. Much transformed, you know. Initially, it was just for personal snapshots, you know, photo dumps, you know, Pam's brunch or, you know, Stacy's 21st birthday. Woo! You know, I regret these photos. But then it became self-filming. You know, propelling and improved smartphone technology, also accessible content creation tools has empowered users to become more content creators and more focused on their actual businesses being able to. Businesses are now using this, and we've got some data in a little bit, but businesses are using social media more than ever before. Like as of 2023, businesses are utilizing social media more than ever. And the platform has evolved into a hub of knowledge sharing where users engage in meaningful discussions, share expertise, participate in online learning communities. This multifaceted evolution underscores social media's capacity to adapt, reflecting in that was merely personal expression of the holistic ecosystem, fostering both personal and professional growth. So beautiful. I didn't write it. ChatGPT wrote that for me. It's another tool you can easily use. It sounds so beautiful and so wonderful. And yes, I know all of these things, but I would never put it in that context because I would actually just speak it verbatim and be like, yeah, so it started off with selfies and now we're using it for business. Moving on. So this is the stats. So these are things that you can use, you know, when you do nerdy trivia night, you might possibly be able to use these. So we have 4.8 billion users on social media around the world. About 2.1 billion of those are in the United States. 2.5 hours of people's time is spent on social media daily. That's in the United States. So we're spending of our 24-hour day. Say you got 6 hours of sleep. I'm not going to say 8 because I'm not going to lie. None of us get 8 hours of sleep. 6 hours of sleep. You know, so you know, you got 2 hours and 30 minutes of your day you take up just solely on social media. That's not including your other internet time, just on social media. 6.6 platforms. I don't know what the 0.6 is when it comes to platforms that are used monthly, but you've got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. What is the 6th one? Snapchat is close. Snapchat is the 0.6. Snapchat is for, how old are you? No, 21. Yep. Gen Z. So Snapchat, I'm an elder millennial. I'm like on that cusp where I kind of use Snapchat, but it's not something that I use often. But Gen Z, if you guys want to get into the Gen Z market, side note, and for you too, because you probably want to, you know, start looking at peers that are going to buy houses. If you want to get into the Gen Z market, also promote on Snapchat. Promote your business on Snapchat. Let your friends, your relatives, your connections know that you work in this field and that you are here to help them. Promote on Snapchat. The 6th one is LinkedIn. Shocker, I know, but LinkedIn is actually very useful when it comes to that. When somebody types in your name on Google, say they look you up and they're like, hey, I want to check out this Jeff Simpson guy. Like, you know, we talked a little bit. I'm going to Google him. As soon as you type your name on Google, besides your website, if you have one, the first page that pops up is your LinkedIn. So make sure that your LinkedIn it has your profile picture, basics, profile picture, some information, it has some kind of consistency of movement on it so that people go, oh, this person's legit. So check out your LinkedIn. Popular social medias in the US are obviously Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, or formerly known as Twitter, X. I will tell you right now, if you're on this, it is useless to you when it comes to sales. Twitter/X has the lowest ROI turnover when it comes to selling. It's more about community building, shocking as that is, but community building and all that kind of stuff when it comes to if you're looking to grow and become maybe a coach or have your own branch or your own team or something like that. That's more of that kind of knowledge-based thing. Then we have population of social media use, 60%. Gen Z followers that follow influencers online, 72%. Social media presentation in the US, 91%. Social media penetrates the US 91%. That's where a lot of people will buy things, look up things, connect with things. They will search on social media before they search Google or before they watch TV or before they read a book. They will look at social media first. Brand and product discovery, as low as that seems, the 27% actually is pretty high. Usually a brand or a product discovery on TV during a commercial is 6%. So, and think about how much people spend on TV commercials, you know, only to get a 6% turnaround for somebody to buy or look at their product. Social media, where you can do it for free, you're getting 20%. 27%. Use of social media for product information, 44%, and TikTok growth among businesses. Businesses that are utilizing TikTok and utilizing TikTok to grow their business is 47%. So we almost got half of growth. It's like,
I think TikTok is getting a little bit too saturated with that. Because it's all e-commerce, drop shipping, affiliate marketing,
the
it's.
TikTok shop has expanded. You're gonna see a roller coaster of that. Gonna cap probably in mid 2024. It's gonna cap and it's gonna do exactly what Instagram did, which Instagram has changed the way that it's working now. Photos matter again. And it's not so much heavy ad pushing because they realized that it was unsustainable. So it's gonna go up and then it's going to peter out to where the actual creators who are not just pumping in money to the app are going to be seen again. So
Well, me and my girlfriend have a affiliate marketing thing. We don't pump any money, but every post that we have makes money.
yep, that's good.
But how are they gonna, like, it's too saturated, I feel like, in a way of, for,
Keep going. Don't stop. Just keep doing what you're doing. And then you're going to be able to see that once the water filter out, for instance, real estate. A lot of people get into real estate when the market's real good, right? People are like, oh man, I could be a real estate agent. Like I can be a realtor. I can do all of that. And then when the market is rough, like it is, people start disappearing, that all of a sudden we're there, like last month, all of a sudden they're out of real estate and they're moved on to the next venture. Stick with it, continue on, because the people that are jumping on the bandwagon now that it's hot, once it gets a little tough, or they're like, oh man, making content all the time is so hard, and I've got another job and I've got all this and stuff like that, they're going to peter out. So it ebbs and flows. When it comes to the tools, it's dangerous to go alone. So take this. Anybody a Zelda fan? Just me? Okay, I'm the nerd. All right, awesome. This is why I'm the marketing director. So things you'll need. No, these are basic items that will help you with the filming. However, you're never actually needing to have these things. All you need is a phone, a smartphone. I have to say that because I've met people with flip phones still. So you have a smartphone and just you. You don't have to have all these fancy things. And these are even not really that fancy. Like I said, I got all these on Amazon, so ding. They don't sponsor me, by the way. I wish they did. But the ring light. So this is the ring light. This is a larger ring light, not the largest one, but this is a larger ring light. They come in all various sizes, even as small as just the ones that put to your phone. So you can get all those kind of things. Don't look directly into this. So basically you can turn it on. I can change the coloring. I can make it bright. I can make it light. I can make it night. I can make it day. Like I can change all those different kind of things. It basically just helps with, and obviously, as you can see, this little thing fits my phone. I can turn it different ways. I can move it around. I can raise this, lower it, all that kind of stuff. It's easy for when I'm traveling and when I'm working on things to have this with me. If you want to just keep one of these stagnant in your house, hold on. It's very sensitive. If you want to keep it stagnant in your house, you can, and then just get one of these other tripods that just travels. Old travel tripod. Super, and they even come smaller than this. This is just a larger one that I use for the office, but I have one that I keep in my car because me and my husband will do ride-along videos when we're traveling for wrestling. If we're doing like a 4 to 6 hour drive, I'll set up a mini little tripod and we'll answer questions and stuff on like a Facebook Live or a TikTok Live and stuff like that. So wireless lav mics. These are wonderful, especially if you're further away. Say you're doing an interview or say you're doing an open house or you're doing some kind of walkthrough and talking, and you don't want all the echoiness of the home itself. This plugs right into your phone, and this just clips right to you. And then you just turn it on. It rings, and then you just clip it to yourself or clip it to whoever you're working with, and you're good to go. And this will, when you hit record on the mic, on the phone, and this picks up the receiver. Got this for like $12. They're not expensive on Amazon. Now, are they the most highest quality, best, blah, 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 blah? No, but they work. Or you can do the old school way, which is getting one of these lav mics. Now, these do have a way better quality because it has a direct plug into your phone. Obviously you need an adapter if you have an iPhone, when it comes to this, but you get one of those little dongles. And you're good to go. So lav mics as well, super important if you're going to do, but again, you don't need it. Your microphone on your phone is a beautiful thing. It works very well. There's been some times where I have recorded somebody and I've had a separate audio track from like a microphone or whatever that was plugged into something else. And I also had the phone audio, and I've actually used the phone audio over the recorded audio because I was like, man, this just sounds better.
What about the AirPods or anything like that?
AirPods are great. If you've got AirPods, or if you have those and you just pop them in and they're nice and crisp and clear, those are fantastic too. The only thing I warn is the distance away from the phone. You don't want to walk too far away, because then it starts to get a little, because if you've ever walked away from your phone, or like me, left it in the car, but still talking to somebody, and then you go into like an office or a room and you're like, why can't I hear them? It's become that kind of thing. Again, the tripod, and then storage. Filming takes up so much room on your phone, and it's annoying because you're trying to like have, life moments and memories on your phone as well, or, use it for business. So make sure you use like a Google Drive or some kind of storage when it comes to that, so that you're able to offload it onto a drive. Still have that Drive app on your phone, but you don't have it filling up your camera roll or your video roll and all that kind of stuff. So drop it into it. And that way too, for instance, say you decide that you drop it in there, and then you're at work one day and you're like, oh man, I have that reel I wanted to post, let me pull it up on my computer, because you have the Drive connected, so you can look it up on the computer. Or hey, you want to send it to somebody, but it's too big, you can send it from the Drive to somebody's email, that kind of thing. So it's just useful to have a storage space somewhere on your phone, storage app, so that you're able to free up your phone for, uses like texting, but not calling people, because that's not what we do with phones. As a millennial, I don't call people on my phone. If it can be a text message or an email, please send it as a text message or email. If it cannot be a text message or an email, make it a text message or an email. But consider this, when filming, you want to consider the location, the noise of the area, lighting, and of course the general comfy feel. You want to be comfortable. You don't want to feel like you're in an awkward setting, because if you feel uncomfortable, it's going to show. If you don't feel comfortable filming in the area that you're in, say if I, asked, just one of you to film a video right now in front of people, like that's not gonna be comfy. It's gonna be weird. You're gonna have like, a bunch of eyes on you. And, and the space here, the lighting's not great. No offense, this is a great room, but the lighting's not great right now. It's dim, it's open and vast, so you can hear every little thing that's going on. So that's gonna pick up on the mic. So you just gotta consider those little things. Your office is probably gonna be the best place to film. Or an office where you can close the door, or a place that's, in your home that's nice and comfy. If you have an office at home, perfect. Your couch, your bedroom, any of that kind of stuff. Something that's like nice feels and very comfortable, but also can be closed off from the rest of the world. Coffee shop, don't suggest it unless you have like the AirPods, or you have some kind of mic that you're able to kind of cancel out the noise around you. So you can do feels when it comes to like other areas, but make sure you're considering that. So this is how you can become an influencer. If you're not already an influencer, this is how you can become an influencer. So you want to make sure that you discover, you want to stay informed. If you're utilizing Jeff and his Keeping Current Matters stuff and the things that he sends out, you're staying informed with your niche, you're staying informed with your market. You want to make sure that you're keeping up with the trends. You want to share this knowledge through your content. So you want to make sure that you know what you're talking about. Obviously, you know what you're talking about in real estate, but things change all the time, or topics come up. I'm going to present a couple of them that I found shocking this week. You know, you want to define, you know, attend local events. You know, participate in the local community, get connected with people that way. That way you can look at them and go, oh, you know, hey, you know, you own a shop down here, a little clothing shop, stuff like that. Your area is nice and location, you know, you've got a bunch of people, you know, would you like me to do like a home event or a buyer event or something like that, where you like, you know, have the shop open for a little bit, sell your wares and you're not. Your clients can come in, they probably want to buy a home, or they probably want to buy a second home, you know, that kind of thing. You know, or just doing, I have some realtors that do the whole, you know the location, like get to know the location. So like, you know, hey, are you thinking about moving to Plano, Texas? Well, if you're moving to Plano, Texas, check out this amazing restaurant right here. It's like that, you know, or here's the top 3 bars in DFW, you know, here's a reason to move into downtown Dallas. I don't know those reasons, but here's the reasons to move, you know, those kind of things. So, you know, getting to know the community so that when people go, well, why should I go with you instead of, you know, an online, you know, somebody from Zillow, some random person from Zillow that, you know, I hit the button from, you know, that kind of thing. Yes, I'm saying names. I almost said Rocket Mortgage and I was like, no, that's his department. And then you want to create the ideas, you want to ideate. So you want to content creation. Obviously, you can just use your smartphone. It's super easy peasy once you get the hang of it. I'm not going to say, oh my God, it's so easy, because I can tell you right now, I'm a marketing director, I'm a content creator. I don't always follow my own rules. So do not beat yourself up if you are like, oh man, I didn't create 5 things of content this week or 3 things of content this week. It's okay. I don't either. Collaborate, like I said, collaborate with another realtor, collaborate with loan officer, collaborate with a local business. Do those kind of things. That's all that influencers are doing. You're just seeing it on more of a higher scale of brand awareness, you know. But it's one of those things of like, that's all they're doing. That is the simple breakdown of what an influencer is doing, is they're collaborating with something they like. They're then telling you about that product or that food or that new trend or whatever. And then they're creating a video about it, you know, that kind of stuff. And then design, blogging. If you have a blog or if you have any ebooks or guides, any kind of thing, checklists. Say you have some kind of, I create these graphics all the time. And I can help you out with these. I create graphics all the time with, you know, what the loan process is, you know, trying to make it super simple and easy, or your loan checklist to get pre-approved, you know, that kind of thing. If you guys have that kind of checklist of like, here are things you need to consider before buying a home, that kind of stuff. If you're doing that kind of thing, then it's going to be what is best for your abilities, and you can use those in social media. It doesn't need to be a super lengthy thing, because all you're doing when it comes to that is you're giving them a little bit of information, because the main goal is to get them to continue to come back for more and to reach out to you, because you are the keeper of the keys. You are the person who had literally and figuratively, you are the person who has the info that they want and they need. Then there's testing. This is the long nerdy stuff. So social media and websites, when it comes to that, you want to optimize. Obviously, SEO, it's a fancy word, search engine optimization. It's a fancy word for buzzwords or keywords. So obviously you're in real estate. So the word real estate, if you do luxury homes, luxury is something that you want to make sure is in your posts. You know, if you do first time home buyer stuff a lot, make sure that's in your posts. Those kind of keywords get picked up by the algorithm. Because AI is reading everything in your captions, not just hashtags, but everything in your captions. And then Google My Business, you want to make sure you have a Google My Business page. You want to make sure when people are able to type in your name, it pops up, or type in your brand or anything like that, that it pops up, because that's going to be the main thing when it comes to reviews and all that kind of stuff. Are we with me so far? Yes, ma'am.
I'm with you. Do you think it's important before you even get into any of this to know what you want your brand to be before you start doing all the steps in order to promote your brand?
100%. So we're talking about real estate branding when it comes to this. So you want to make sure that that is important. That is one of my basic classes that I teach, when it comes to that, is that you want to make sure that you know your brand. You want to make sure you know what you're going for. So you want to be aware, obviously, who does luxury house, or who wants to do luxury housing? Okay, perfect. Who mainly focuses on first-time home buyers? Somebody like do a main focus, yeah. What do we focus on? The home market.
I would say it's important for you to know what your niche is. Everybody should focus on first-time home buyer. You want to do luxury and everything. Well, but you need to drill down even further. And it's like James and I were talking the other day, he's got a military background. He was a veteran. He worked, so he knows a lot of police departments, FOP, people like that. I talked to a realtor a couple weeks ago, and I did an online class, and it was called Finding Your Avatar, and it was basically meaning, who do you relate to? So I talked to this lady, realtor in Frisco, and I'm like, who are the people that you relate to? She goes, single women who are 40, have kids, who likes to drink wine, likes to do yoga. They are typically the team mom on the sports. They get involved, they're loud, because that's who I am, and that's who I can relate to. You're 21 years old. Like she was saying, you're more on, Snapchat, maybe you're more too, but your people may be, your friends and your colleagues and everybody that are, maybe still in college or getting out of college, that are got their first job, they're starting their career, they're thinking about getting, their first house. Hey, Dylan's a realtor, I need to talk to him, he can help me get my first house, same thing, we left, but it was Mo, the one in the back, was just there.
Oh, Maggie.
Maggie, she's got, a huge following, Asian following and stuff, and her YouTube page is crazy. Betty has got a huge following already. I mean, I looked at her YouTube or her Instagram, and she's got like 30-something thousand people.
Perfect, exactly. And that's the thing, is like, so identifying your needs, you want to make sure that you've identified your brand, your niche. However, a lot of people can get hung up on that and just never start. So the main thing that I always tell people is to start posting. And when you start posting, you can transition. For instance, I had somebody who was a very successful spin cyclist person that I was working with, and she had a huge following from her spin classes and her spin coaching. But then she really realized that renovating and flipping houses and stuff was kind of what she wanted to do more of. Well, she's a spin dude. She can't just start randomly posting that on her social media. Yes, you can. It's about slowly drip feeding that in, and then slowly transitioning. Yes, are you going to lose people that were only here for the spin classes? Don't know why, but you will. But will you gain people once you start actually doing something? So for instance, if you start off with just simply helping, younger people, younger generations get into their first time houses. And then you realize as you're transitioning, as you're growing in this career, that you want to start focusing more on investments and luxury homes. You can start turning that into what you're more about and what you're all about. And then you can start growing it from there. So it's, and then for instance, say that you've been in this game for a long time and you know the ins and outs of real estate, and you've seen the ups and downs and the ebbs and flows, and you've been posting consistently, but you've decided now that you want to be more of a mentor. You want to start being a coach. You want to start helping younger real estate agents. You can start turning your social media into that. So realizing your brand 100%, but starting the process first so that you can then metamorphosize into what you're going to be, because you're going to go through a lot. You know, where you are now is not gonna be where you are even 2 years from now, 5 years from now. Like, it's gonna be a complete transition of what you are now. So it's gonna show that growth, and you're gonna have people that come on the journey with you, and you're gonna pick up people along the way, and it's gonna be that kind of thing. So my main thing is to start first while you're figuring out your brand, because the first couple of videos, the first couple of things, they're not gonna be great. They're not gonna do, you know, you're not going to get viral hits all the time. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, going viral is not the goal. Staying consistent and growing is the goal. So what are we filming? So there's several ways to approach this, like I said, content creation, but here's what helps you focus on where to go. Identify your niche, your brand. Identify your target audience when it comes to that. So, you know, again, first-time home buyers, Gen Z, luxury, you know, investment, you know, that kind of thing. You know, you can even break it down to area. You're like, oh man, I really, like, I live in Frisco, born and raised in Frisco. I only want to bring people into Frisco, or I only want to work out in Salina or Salina, whatever it's called. I want to look up from New Orleans. We don't say things properly. Like, you know, those kind of things, you know, it's, you know, I wanna do farm and ranch. I wanna specifically focus on, you know, ranch living and ranch houses and all that kind of stuff. Then explore trends and topics in your niche. Look for those kind of headlines. You know, pay attention to what's going on in the farm and ranch world. Like, you know I've learned specifically just from Tammy that there is a specific type of dirt that has to happen in order for you to have a good horse ranch. I didn't know horses had to have specific type of dirt, but apparently they're picky. And then showcase your special sauce, which is you. You are your special sauce. You are your authenticity. You're gonna hear the word authenticity and all the time when it comes to content creation. Just be authentic. Be you. You know, because that is what makes you different than the other 80,000 realtors. However, there is many, you know, I don't know the statistic, how many. There you go. There you go. You know, that makes you stand out from the next one, you know. You're all spouting the same information because you are spouting the correct information of, well, hopefully the correct information of where the market is right now, what's going on, this, that, but it's about how you present it and how you present yourself to your niche. For instance, the lady who, you know, wants women in their 40s who drink wine and do yoga and are PTA moms and are screaming and yelling and having a good time. And like, you know, that's very specific, which is amazing because now she knows how she can act and how she can be herself online instead of coming out there in like a suit and going, yes, so you know, she can come out there and be like, hey, I don't know if she said y'all, but you know, that kind of thing. And then you want to, so captivating your audience, like I was saying before. You want a blend of creativity, authenticity, and thoughtful engagement. And then you want to evoke emotion, spark curiosity, you know, and provide value and insight. The main things that people look for, because we're all selfish, we're all humans. We are selfish individuals at the end of the day. And it's a flaw, but also it's useful when it comes to knowing how to utilize social media, is that we're all looking for something. When you're scrolling on social media, you're looking for something that's either making you laugh, something that is educational, something that is entertaining, something that is inspirational, or something that you can relate to. For the most part, that's pretty much what you're looking for. That's what everybody's looking for. So if you're looking to relate to another realtor, do some funny, I'm sure you guys, if you scroll TikTok or whatever, you'll see all of those horror stories that realtors will post, you know, they'll do little reenactments and all that kind of stuff. They're hilarious. I just feel I'm sorry for all of you. You know, or you'll see some kind of educational thing on how to, for instance, this class, it's an educational thing. I post on my grappling with social media pages, little tips and tricks all the time for people to utilize and stuff like that. You know, funny or just fun, it's inspirational, you know. Say you decided that you are buying an investment property and you're going to take everyone on the journey of you fixing it up. You know, so people can see how houses are renovated, and it's your first time, so like, you're gonna have pitfalls. But you're showing you're human, and you're showing that it's still doable. No. And then you want to build connections, so tailoring your content to resonate with your audience and your interests and your preferences. Actively engaging your followers by responding to comments, messages, and feedback. That is one of the hardest things. I always tell people time blocking. Obviously, we follow our calendar. Block out 1 hour a week, just 1 week, 1 hour a week. To go back, I usually say like the end of the week, go back and respond to comments and questions and this, that, and the other on social media. One that helps boost the engagement of your post. Say you posted on Monday and people are commenting on it and you answer on Friday, and then they come back and comment again, that just puts it right back into the cycle of the world, of the social media world, because it has now been re-engaged with. So those kind of things can be very helpful. Participant relevant, yes,
Don't be afraid of negative comments either.
yes, yes.
Engage those because they'll be the ones that actually, they'll come back and they'll reply again. And I get negative comments all the time about, you know, I'm telling everybody the market's great.
And they're like, the market's
Market's
terrible.
terrible, don't buy right now. And, you know, but most of y'all know my wife does a lot of my stuff for me. She's like, I was gonna delete this guy. I'm like, no, engage him. Let's get him telling me. And all of a sudden, yeah, we found out that all of a sudden, then I got people from Minnesota. Like, how did I get somebody from Minnesota? And like she was saying, the algorithm started working and it started broadening people out and stuff. So don't be afraid of it.
I think in professional wrestling, we always like to use, and it's useful on social media too, is controversy creates cash. So, and conflict creates cash. So it's one of those things of like, if somebody is like, oh, that area is terrible, or oh, the housing market sucks, like, you're lying to us, be like, well, no, we actually have a bunch of programs. We'd like to, here's, tag Jeff. Here's Jeff, he can tell you about all the programs that we have that buys down your rate and like all this other kind of stuff. And then they're just kind of like, or they'll fight back and forth with you, and then they'll continue to engage your content. Collaborate, like I said, leverage each other's strengths. I have a studio right across the street, literally right across the parking lot. I have a studio. This man is connected to that studio. Utilize your strengths. We have it right over there. Me, I'm here. Each other, bounce ideas off each other. Be like, man, I really want to film this, but I don't have somebody to hold the camera because I want it to be a walking, talking kind of thing. Do it for you, that kind of thing. Cross promote, again, tagging each other, sharing each other's things, promoting each other. Encourage your audience interaction by questions, what's your favorite drink at this bar? Or, what's your favorite area of DFW, like that kind of thing. And then have fun. If you're not having fun, you're not gonna do it. Because it's not paying you. You're not gonna have fun. You're not gonna do it. So start embracing your passions, your interests. We have a couple loan officers that, are really into cars and do jet skiing competitions. And so, yes, they talk about loans and mortgages, but also they're doing backflips on jet skis. Like, that's also intermixed in there. It's not him.
More of a pickleballer, golfer.
We have ones that love making cocktails, so they'll do like a little cocktail mixology kind of thing in their kitchen. I went to their house personally and set up one of these babies, so they had it in their kitchen so that they could do that kind of stuff as well. It shows them as a person, and not just somebody in a suit, that's trying to sell somebody something. And take breaks. Prevent yourself from stressing about it. Take breaks, okay? Consistency isn't about constantly posting every single day. Consistency is about actually staying true to your message and true to your brand. So that is what is being consistent about. Now, I think the next slide is going to shock you. Yes, it is this slide. So, did you know that what they say when it comes to the social media marketing world, that in order to stay consistent and thriving in social media, you must post 3 times a day on TikTok, post 1 time a day on Instagram, and post 2 long videos per week and 1 short on YouTube. That is a lot. I don't do that. But this is what they say in order to stay consistent. What I want you to realize, pause, is that that is not true. That is true for somebody who has decided they are going to not work a 9 to 5, and they are solely going to be an influencer, content creator, getting paid through these social medias. That is for that kind of thing. That's me with the microphone. My friend drew that for me. So before you give up, I'm not here to tell you to stick to that terrible thing. I'm a full-time content creator, not only for this job and for all the loan officers that I service. I have 11 loan officers under my belt. I am one person, and I am literally doing all the filming, editing, graphic design, posting schedules, classes, all that kind of stuff by myself, plus my own personal life for my own personal businesses. I have 5 businesses, by the way, on top of this. For this?
No, for
Oh,
private, like to post the stuff.
private stuff, yeah, so basically when it comes to my marketing director, I'm connected to Benchmark. So I don't do any kind of outsourcing when it comes to that. I do what is the loan officers and their realtor partners need me to do under that. But when it comes to my own personal stuff, I get paid through social media. I get paid through Instagram and TikTok Reels and all that kind of stuff when it comes to my wrestling world. And then I get paid in wrestling as well. So, but you know, that kind of thing. But I don't stick to that. I don't stick to this. And I'm still making, you know, so, and I'm still gaining followers and I'm still growing. So like, do not think that. So that's why I wanted you to know that I want you to live your life. I want you to be able to enjoy and have a free life. So it's okay to take pauses. I promise you, social media will be there when you come back. It's not going away. It might look different, you know, because of all the updates, but it's not going away. So now we'll go into planning the content. This is where we're gonna get really fast paced because everything else is kind of more of like a step kind of thing. So we're gonna plan the content. What I told you, you can get a month or more worth of content, which is 2 hours of your time. Just 2 hours. Get a list of questions from your clients. I'm sure you guys answer the same questions from new clients all the time. You guys probably have a list of like, these are the most frequently asked questions from first-time home buyers or from, you know, people investing in this. Use those. Because I can guarantee you, if you've gotten calls about them over and over again, there are thousands of people on the internet who have the same question that have no clue who to ask. Schedule a podcast. This man. It's literally just talking back and forth. You guys can talk about whatever topics you want to. Bloopers in between are fantastic. I pull them out. I use them. I do. So, you know, choose wisely words. I'm just kidding. I cut a lot of stuff out. It's okay. And I also.
If you don't have questions, we come up with them as well. I've got questions.
Yeah.
Also, just start talking.
Save headlines, videos, screenshots, articles you want to talk about. Like say you scroll your news and you come across something, you're like, oh, this is interesting. I don't have time to get to it, drop everything and get to it right now, but screenshot, I'm gonna do it, you know, when I'm doing my content stuff this week. When you have a list of things, then you're gonna want to pick a day, block out some time and film and create the content. So this is the content tree to help you with ease. Long form videos or blogs and newsletters, that kind of stuff is the top priority. If you do a 45-minute podcast, that 45-minute podcast can then be posted on YouTube, long form in its entirety, and then can be cut up into 16, 18, 20 plus reels for YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels. Then you can create even shorter ones with little teasers. And then I can further create future content ideas because people will comment and question and have things. And you can be like, oh, this person had this question about it. I'm gonna make a video about it next week. You know, that kind of thing. Same thing with blog news and articles. You can do little quick graphics. Like I said, if you have those long form, you know, flyers that you hand out at open house or whatever, you can start making those into more short form graphic content, post those out. ask questions to your audience to gain that thing. Oh, God. I didn't do it. Oh, there we go. It got bored. The tips. So long form comes first. Like I said, it gives you a plethora of content if you film a long form video. Work smarter, not harder. Find out what your platforms require, and don't edit. For instance, TikTok likes very raw based things. They like you to just simply not super over edited, not super over filter, not. So you could literally just be talking and then post it, you know, as opposed to Instagram or YouTube where you kind of just want to make sure that it's chopped up a little bit finer, you know, everything's a little bit more closer together and a little bit more pretty. TikTok is an easy like out, because they reward raw based material. And then photos are your friends again. Shocker, photos are useful again. Who knew? The photo dump trend on Instagram, Facebook, and even TikTok now, because a little spiky thing, are now useful. So, and they don't have to be over stylized anymore. So if you say you do a weekend of open houses, or you do some kind of broker event, or you do some kind of thing that you have photos from the weekend, do a photo dump, do a mass photos, you know, jump like, you know, 5 to 10 photos in one of those posts. Boom, tag some people, call it a day. Because if you have multiple photos, if you've ever noticed on scrolling Instagram, you see a photo, you like it, you're like, oh, this is cute, you see a photo. And then you keep scrolling and all of a sudden you see like a photo from that same thing, but it's like 3 photos in and you're like, oh, I just saw this, but now it's because the amount of photos that are in that will keep popping up as new photos until you get through all of them. So it shows up on people's feed more often. Then create an archive. Find moments in your life. I'm sure you guys have videoed the most random things, especially this time of the year, holiday lights. So many people film holiday lights. You're gonna delete that video probably in a good 6 months or less, right? Utilize it, you know, fireworks for the 4th of July. Everyone films fireworks. You know, then you delete it like, you know, come September. But, you know, Day of the Lights, making coffee, going to a class, doing something. Keep those kind of what you would call mundane or like, you know, keepsake moments. And those can be utilized when it comes to content because you can literally just simply put the video up, put a trending sound on it. We're gonna show you that in a second. And throw some context over top of it, throw some text over top of it. And boom, it's a video without you even having to talk. You know, let's bring hooks, long form video ideas, short form video ideas. You can take a photo if you like. So long videos, mastering the art of navigating the real estate market. Neighborhood spotlight series. You know, I was saying that would be real estate success stories, like from dreams to reality, you know, that kind of thing. Any testimonials, any longtime clients you've had that have, you know, grown and have bought multiple houses from you. You know, that's the dream, is to have a lifetime client. You know, that can be inspiring, funny, or tragic. It just depends on how you want to do it. Fun fact about the neighborhood that you live in or the neighborhood that you mostly, you know, frequent. You know, local business shout outs, you know, home buying checklist in 60 seconds, creative home decor hacks, you know, those kind of things. Hooks, these are fun things that you can either say or write in your captions. You know, secret hack you didn't know. Obviously people are gonna be like, ooh, I like hacks. I don't know why people like the word hack, but they do. I like hacks. How I got from blank to blank, you know, how I got from, you know, a realtor at the age of 21 to a millionaire and this 3 easy steps, you know, I don't know, you know, that kind of thing. You know, copy my blank process, you know, copy my, you know, morning routine, copy my, you know, scheduling process, copy my content creation process, you know, that kind of thing. 5 steps to achieving your first home. 5 steps to achieving your first investment property, 7 ways to get your first home, that kind of stuff. Stop scrolling. That's my favorite one. If you tell people to stop scrolling, or numbers, people love numbers. If you're like the top 3, the top 3 locations to move to in DFW, people are gonna stop and be like, oh, we'll see if they're right. They'll be like, oh, that's interesting. I don't know why we love numbers, but we love numbers. If you say top, insert number here, we're gonna stop and listen to get to number 1. I don't know why. It's in our brains. We have to. This feels illegal to know. That's always a really good one. And nobody is talking about insert whatever you want here, So those kind of things work. Now, these are just some headlines I pulled from a few weeks ago, which I found interesting. So December 5th, 10 home design trends your clients will love in 2024. FHA, FHA, whatever, all those letters, announced higher confirming loan limits in 24. That's when you get with this man and go, what was, because I don't know what it means. Funds by buying a home right now makes sense despite high interest rates. See, they even said despite high interest rates. Again, get with him if you want to collab with that kind of stuff. Why FISBOs say they regret not using a real estate agent. That's a really good one. And then this is my favorite one, so it's in giant letters because that article is really interesting. I suggest if you can go find it, you read it because it's legit. Taylor Swift is even influencing home prices. Basically, all of the places that she has toured and all the locations she has toured around, home prices have skyrocketed and people buying homes in those areas have skyrocketed because people want to be closer to the stadiums that she performs at, because it's cheaper for them to do that than it is to fly in, pay for an Uber, pay for a hotel, pay for all that kind of stuff. So people are actually paying attention to that kind of thing. So, she's not just influencing football, she is also influencing real estate. So let's make a reel. I'm gonna show you how to do it. No, we're not doing any dances, I promise you. You don't have to dance to make a reel. Although now I'm regretting saying that because I really wanted to just kind of get up and make you guys dance. I'll remember that for future classes. So this is my personal wrestling pages. So if you want to create a reel, this is step-by-step guide for when it comes to Instagram, just to show you guys. You're gonna go up to the little plus button when you're on your profile. You're gonna go up to your plus button. You're gonna hit reel, and you're gonna pull up all of these things. That's my husband. We read story time. We do story time for kids reading and stuff like that too. That's our other job. Story time with Nigel, if you guys can follow it on YouTube. Then obviously this is me decorating our tree across the street. Then you picked a video. You can trim the clip if there's like weird endings. You know how when you hit the start button before you get ready and then you go to hit the end button? Sometimes people don't want that in there. So you can trim the clip by just dragging in these little sides here.
I could never get that to work, the trimming thing.
I promise you, it works really well now.
It's just.
I used to hate it. I used to hate it. I have another program called Splice that I use on my phone, or people will use iMovie and stuff like that. That I used to use all the time. I still use it, but I used to use it just to trim the edges off because this program inside the actual application never worked. It works now. Right. So then you hit next, and obviously you get to this screen where it has like explore audio and all that kind of stuff. Cause like, I don't want it just to hear me rustling with this. I don't want that noise. I want music. So I'm gonna click the little music icon. And you have all of these music things to choose from. You can search for music, all that kind of stuff. But I usually go to my saved folder because I saved the audios. So if you have an audio you really like, save it so you can use it, because then you can just go to that saved location, pick a saved one. I picked this one, and then I hit done. Now I'm gonna add text to it. Obviously I go to this little text button that's up here up top. You can change colors, you can change fonts. I just put some text up. And then I hit done, and then I can move it. You can use your finger and I just moved it up there. These are embarrassing screenshots I hadn't even looked at. Down here, it tells me what I texted. So it's got the music, it's got the text. But you can click on that. And you can, if I didn't want it to be the whole video, I just wanted it to be the front of the video, I can drag it just like the trimming. I can drag it and make it shorter in the video. Thus meaning I can add more text or stickers or whatever if I want to start adding more things. That's why if you see reels, like one thing will pop up and then the next thing will pop up and then the next text will pop up. That's how they do it. You just keep adding text and keep shortening it and changing it. And then all you gotta do is either hit that button up there or just go whoop and drag this down and it'll go back to the full video and you can watch the full thing to make sure it's okay. Then obviously you get this part where you're ready to post it, right? Obviously enter your captions. You can edit the cover so that it's not just this awkward part. So you can drag to any of this stuff over here and edit it to whatever part of the video you want it to look at when it's up. And then you can hit profile grid and you can move this around to whatever part of the profile grid block area you want to see. So for instance, if I didn't want it to see the rocket around the Christmas tree, I could move that up and just catch the ball down here, whatever I want. Now we're ready to post, right? Kinda. You wanna, this is important, so always put in your location. It helps draw people that are in your location to there. Then you wanna make sure you add any kind of tags. You can tag people, you can add collaborators, all that kind of stuff when it comes to that. And then you post it. A lot of people, when I talk about articles, if you've seen the green screens where people are talking in front of an article or in front of the text, you go through the same process. So up there, reels. Now you're gonna go to your camera though, because obviously you're going to speak directly. This was me when I did this, but it was cool. Then you hit this little arrow. You're gonna hit green screen. And then it's gonna bring you into this weird scenic background instantly. Well, you wanna change your background, so you can change it and you can pick whatever. You can either from scenes or you can go to your camera, from your camera roll. Here is very important. If you think you're gonna talk longer than 30 seconds, please hit this button and change it to 90 seconds, which is the longest you can go when it comes to this. And then just tap this button and it'll start recording. And the green screen stuff behind you. Now it's your turn. Remember how I said in the beginning, you're gonna be filming a reel? Surprise. You're doing it now. So here are the steps. If you already have a wonderful, just like generic video in your reel that you don't want sound on, pull that up. If not, please pull out your phone and record yourself for like 7 or 8 seconds, just doing this.
We did it on Instagram or Facebook or whatever.
If you don't have Instagram, you can go to Facebook. If you have Instagram, I highly suggest doing Instagram.
Is it easier on one or the other?
No.
Okay.
It's just bucket me in the past being like, I don't have Instagram. I'm like, cool, awesome. You have Facebook? They're like, yeah. I'm like, well, you can do it on there too. So, if you are on Facebook and you want to go to Reels, when it comes to Facebook, it's obviously going to show you your page first. You're going to want to go to your profile, your little profile down here on Facebook. It'll be either up here or you scroll around and you'll find the word Reels. It'll then pull up Reels and you want to click on that little camera button, okay? That little camera button. That way you can either choose the camera to film yourself if you need to film yourself or just pick a video. For Instagram, like I said, you're gonna go to that little plus sign button that's in the top. You guys got that? Here, I'll go back so we can see it. You go to that plus size button up there. You're gonna go to reel. And if you already have a video, just pick the video from here. If you don't, hit camera. And then it's gonna look like this. You don't have to do green screen, so that's ignore all that. But just film yourself for 7 to 8 seconds.
Do with it. It's probably-
Oh, yeah. I mean, don't worry,
So we should, okay.
the delete button works, I promise you.
And then
Film yourself.
Mine didn't do that. When I went to Next, and it went to like video poster now share.
On Instagram.
Okay, oh, there we go. So go here first, then here. There you go. And then here. Yeah.
Thank you.
So you filmed yourself, yes? Or you are filming yourself?
For
What if we- Yes.
And that already was video.
If you just put
a random video.
then, so once you're done filming, or if you put in a random video, again, the sound is not going to matter because we're gonna get rid of the sound. This is not gonna be relevant, so don't worry about that. Once you filmed yourself or you have a video, hit the next button, which is that button right up there, the next button. And it's going to take you to this page. Click on the music button at the top. And you're going to go to the search bar up there and you're gonna search for this song if it's not already. They Just Don't Know by Gift. Click on it so I can hear it from somebody. You find it?
That one? Did I do that wrong?
That is the wrong one.
What about this one?
They just, that's.
No, that-
They just.
Yes.
Just to be safe, I want to do Taylor Swift songs.
Yeah, they just don't know by Gift.
That's happening.
So weird, I want to pull up for you.
Taylor Swift is?
But yeah.
My last TikTok, one of my last TikTok ones, I just said, I went and did like
No.
trending songs, whatever. With,
And
and I got like
no,
2,000 hits
it's.
in a day. It's all because of the Taylor Swift.
Okay. Yeah, so. Yeah, so go back. We won't use that song. I'll change that. So basically, when you go to your reels. Let's see here. Let's create a reel. When you go to your music. Let's pull up something that is in your first feeds. So when you go to music, you'll see trending song. The way you know it's a trending song is you'll see that little arrow. It's a little arrow pointing up. That's how you know it's trending.
Where did you say to go now after we cancel out?
So you're perfect right here. This is where you should be. So
Oh,
as you
okay.
see all the For You songs and stuff like that, this is what they decided. So you can listen to them first and see if it's something that you want to use. And then when you're ready to use it, just tap on it. It can be just something fun, upbeat. Then just pick something. And don't worry, we're not gonna actually post these, so you don't have to post them. Unless you really want to. But once you've picked a song. You'll hit. You pick it, it'll go. Hit done. Now you'll want to turn down your volume because it'll just keep playing the song over and over and over again once you're staring at your phone. Then you're gonna go up to the little text button. When you go up to the little text button.
Which is the A's, right?
Which is the A's, yes, correct. The A's are your text button. And then you're gonna put 3 must-do things. First-time home buyers, for first-time home buyers. And then obviously get pre-approved by this guy. And then the next two, you can put whatever you want. I have no clue what the 3 must-dos on your personal brand or your personal way would be.
So all of that, also it's on step 4?
Yep, 3 must-do things, first-time home buyers. And then write that text.
And then hit done.
And then hit done, yep. You're a quick typer.
I'm not doing what you're doing. I'm typing words to go with the video, but like,
Well, awesome, that's even better. And then if you wanna move it, if it's not in the right position, where you wanna drag it to, move it wherever you want to,
What was the second one? I'm sorry, get pre-approved and.
get pre-approved, and then the next 2 or whatever you want it to be. What are your top 3 things you think that people must do
Oh,
for
God.
first-time home buyers? What are the 2 other things? You're done. Like I said, hit done. And you can drag it wherever you want. If you don't want it covering your face, you want it down a little lower, if you want it to the side, if you want it, kind of move around, you can move it around. And then it'll take you to this page. When you hit the little arrow, it'll take you to the final page.
so if our page is public,
Mhm.
do you normally just, this is public, go ahead and just
Mhm.
continue?
Correct.
We're not posting this, right?
No. Not unless you want to post it, you can post it if you like, or you can save it into drafts if you're like, oh, I wanna work on this later and actually, utilize this.
No, that's my
Okay.
grandmother swimming, so, yeah.
So, once you're here, obviously you write a little caption of being like, these are some tips and stuff like that, tips and tricks. You can even use ChatGPT to utilize to write even longer captions, be like, go to ChatGPT and go, write me a caption about these 3 must-dos for first-time home buyers. And you give them all the 3 must-dos for first-time home buyers, and they'll generate a caption for you that's longer and more detailed, so you don't have to type it all out yourself. You can go over it and make sure things are said the way you would like them. And then if you decide that you don't want to save, you don't want to post it right now, you can hit save to drafts. It'll save for you to post at a later date, or you can hit share and then you've posted. How are you feeling about that? That's how most people feel when it comes to. So. You did it! Yay! And you probably feel like this person right here. When it comes to this, it gets easier. This is me literally throwing you into drinking from a fire hose crash course. Here are all the buttons and tools. Play with it. Have fun. Like I said, take that time out of your week, block out time to film some content and mess around with it so that you can start getting faster with it and start actually being able to save it and produce more content with it.
And you can save some of those reels, save them up there, and you can tag them, like you can do one for first-time home buyers, top 3 things you need. Your next one, down payment assistance, and that's a reel that's always up there. So when they go to your webpage, she's got something or he's got something for first-time home buyers. Let me click on that. And you can say, hey, guys, welcome, if you're looking to buy your first home, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And different things.
And that's the thing, it's like, this is a class specifically on reels. I do teach and I've taught it here a couple times. I do teach a basic beginners social media class for people to be able to, look into finding out what platforms are best for them, how to utilize them, stuff like that, which is a lot more of an easy course. So this is kind of like the next advanced course. If you jumped into this one without having been to my basic social media one-on-one, This is the 102. But we will go to Q&A now because I'm sure a lot of you are like, what did I step into? But I promise you, you're gonna get it. Just continue to work. So questions? Yes.
So this is not really about reels. This is just a question that I generally ask people that are teaching classes that have something to do with social media. What's your opinion? I know it can vary.
Mhm.
So, about personal and business, before becoming a real estate agent, I just had a personal Facebook page. So just my personal, never really did Instagram. My following few friends was really picky. So I went through and initially I set up a business Instagram to connect to a business Facebook and a personal Instagram, connecting to my personal. But I'm really at this point thinking, I really don't want to maintain two Instagram accounts. And so I'm thinking about switching my personal to business on Instagram and connecting it obviously to my business Facebook and then just doing my personal. So my question is what is your opinion about the best method to go? And then depending on your answer, I may have another question.
Perfect. Yes. So I always, yes, if you were not avidly constantly posting on your personal page, why on God's green earth would you make a second page that you won't post on? Some people be like, oh, well, if I make a business page, I'll post on that, even though I don't post on this, but you doubled your work. I don't believe in having separate business pages versus personal pages when it comes to, obviously on Facebook, if you have a business page and a personal profile, I like to keep those words separate because the word page kind of gets muddled. But your personal profile obviously is, you can add friends, you can friend request. A business page, people can like and follow, but you can't add people and you can't, that kind of stuff. Whereas on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, yada, yada, that's all quote unquote one page and you have to create a completely different profile if you wanted a business one, right? I don't like the idea of having separates when it comes to your business, unless your businesses are two completely different things. Like, for instance, if you had one business that was real estate and your other business was a car dealership or was like, obviously you're not combining those two together, it gets muddled, it gets weird. But if you're okay with sharing some of your personal life mixed in with your business life and vice versa, then I suggest just having one page. Some people don't do it specifically because of either they've had issues in the past with like stalkers and they're trying to keep themselves very private. And so they only have business stuff related. That's okay. That's something that is not, the norm in the world, hopefully, that kind of thing. Some people do not like to post their children or their grandchildren, whatever. That's okay. You don't have to post them, that kind of thing. You can keep certain aspects of your life separate, Social media is all about perception. You can fake it if you want to. If you're like, I don't want to actually show my kids or my grandkids or my nieces and nephews like that, then don't. Just show your office life. Just show slivers of your life that you're comfortable showing, but still show yourself as a person, But I feel like when it comes to that, if you already have one page that you're struggling to post on, don't make a second one, because then you're doubling the workload, and you just won't do it. I know personally I wouldn't, and so it's one of those things, it's like, if you are gonna merge them, I would suggest doing that, and I would suggest start dropping your business stuff into your personal page life now, just slowly, so that when you start making the greater shift of having more business to personal or by, that you're able to already have that implemented into it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, it's new,
Yeah.
so dropping the business Instagram is no big deal. I literally have one post there. So, I mean,
That's
no big deal.
beautiful. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
perfect.
so that's no big deal. And
Yeah.
obviously I have the business Facebook because I want to be able to connect my business stuff into Facebook. It's my understanding Facebook definitely could shut you down your personal page if you start doing a lot of business stuff on it. Technically.
Yes, and it's one of those things of like, it is a mix of like, you have to find the balance. Facebook still is one of the farthest growing and fastest growing places for business. Actually really funny, today Gary Vee actually just posted a video today talking about how his largest business structure still comes from Facebook. He's still growing larger in Facebook than anywhere else. So continue to use Facebook. A lot of people are like, oh, it's not useful anymore. This is the new thing, whatever. Facebook is still extremely useful. Again, if you're using a business page, utilize Reels because that is one of the things that Facebook is trying to push right now is for people to use Reels. So if you use it on Facebook, on your Facebook business page, they reward you by putting it out to more people because they're trying to get people to use it more often on Facebook.
Okay, so I plan to connect my Instagram to my business Facebook. And
if you
it'll be a business.
And if you do
Even though
that,
it'll look
yeah.
personal,
Yeah.
it'll be a business, it's set up as a business. Instagram.
Correct. And this is the thing is like, if you do that, because they're under one umbrella, you can also link it up to where if you post on Instagram, it'll automatically post it to
Yeah,
Facebook, so you don't have to go and double post.
Yeah,
I've got
exactly.
two.
So I'm looking at naming too. So I have a very common name. My name's Deborah Anderson.
Uh-huh.
So there are a lot of people in the world that name.
I married a Smith, so my last
So,
name is Smith as well, so I understand.
I'm also like looking at naming because, so my personal Facebook is just my name, obviously, because the extension's hidden. And then, I have my business, but Instagram, I'm looking at that. So like originally my personal Instagram that I had before being an agent was my name with some numbers after it, okay? Where when I set up the business, it says Deborah Anderson Realtor after it.
Yeah.
So I guess part of my question is twofold. I mean, do I keep that personal one that I've had? Or do I switch it over and
You can
include
always
that
change the name.
realtor?
You can always change the name. Yes, you can always change the name of your handle, even on your personal one.
Yeah.
You can always change the name. I suggest finding something that connects even more to your niche, and connects even more to you. I would say, you could go with DA something, that kind of thing. You could even just do your initials and something that is more connected to you,
I want them to see my name. I
Yeah.
want them to be able to search for my name.
Yes.
Everything I have is Jeff Simpson knows loans. If you,
That's his hashtag, his
Yeah.
handle, Jeff Simpson knows loans.
a couple of them, I think TikTok or whatever, I couldn't use Jeff Simpson because it was already taken, so I had to use Jay Simpson. So it's either Jeff Simpson or Jay Simpson or whatever. And it just make sure you're consistent all the way, in all platforms. So like you were saying earlier, if they do search you out, then they'll find you on all of it. So I, Deborah Anderson Realtor. would,
Yeah.
Do that or.
Yeah, I would say switch your personal one over to that name, or, Deborah Anderson, KW, something that connects you, and.
I do have Canva.
Yes.
So Canva's fun and you can type, I don't know if you've done it, whatever, just like realtor logos or whatever.
I've already.
Oh, you did that? Okay. Yeah, so I would stick with whatever your logo is. If it's Deborah Anderson, then do Deborah Anderson Realtor or, do something consistent. That, but I've got 2 Facebook pages and I don't know why, but my business page. But everything I do, as soon as something is posted on Facebook business, I'm actually I posted to my personal one as well.
Yeah, and you can do that as well, but yeah, definitely 100% is that, what's up with all this, what's up with this money?
Money.
It's.
It's,
You use it like, you can use, like when they have
Borrow.
meetings every month, and they have some kind of prizes and you can bid on, you know, with your money. That, and so.
Everybody's giving the money, it's probably gone. And you're gonna be pay off.
So here's a illusion. My instant business, I can just go in there and just flat out delete, or I totally just.
Yep. Yeah.
Do you know if I delete it, if I can use that name?
It will be I believe, 48-hour block on that name.
Oh,
And so not, yeah, yeah. But if you want to, utilize like, like Deborah Anderson KW or Deborah Anderson KW, it's like that. For the meantime, when you switch it over, you can do that as well. That way, when that name does come back up, you can just switch it over to that name.
Create a page for my business.
Yep.
Cause I like to keep my Facebook page very private.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is, for you don't even, if you go into the page, you need to see my post. Because Facebook, like, you want to boost it, brands. Or could you just let me see my feed?
Yeah.
You didn't even see your feed.
Yeah.
It's really pushing you to boost it.
And I will tell you right now, do not boost
No.
your things unless you want to continue to pay for things and not have things form organically.
Right.
Gary Vee has this wonderful thing, and this is how he uses for every single one of his businesses, and this is where I have a love-hate relationship with paid advertisements and
Right.
posts. Post something first organically, see how well it does, and then whatever posts work organically very well, put a little money behind those, because if they did well organically, once you put a little, exactly, but always post the money first. Always post them first, so that you're not, just because they're not, the algorithm and it's not dumb. If you are constantly boosting all of your posts, even if you're dropping like just $5. Whatever, posts and then just boost, well, we're gonna continue to hold back their content they don't do that on, so that they will do it, because they'll do it, because they show a consistency of doing it, so, that kind of. Thank you, of course. I will, when we do my basic social media class again over here at some point, I'll have Jeff let y'all know, so that I'm over here to give you guys the rundown as opposed to the fire hose version. Thank you. Thank you.
It's a weird spell. Yeah. I and one.
Okay. Yeah. Still no respect.
We text the phone, we talk.
Yeah, so, good.
Let me know which one I will do. Whatever, so. That. Not only to- Status. Yeah. Yeah. Part of the, okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Press the seat to like pull this stuff
Okay.
up and to do this, and then you can do stop share. And